Ron DeSantis? Because he's done something quite interesting down in Florida, hasn't he, Mike?
He created this law around March 9th. They restrict certain people from purchasing land in Florida. And now it goes into effect July 1st. And what it does is if you're a citizen of China, Russia, Venezuela, Iran, North Korea, Cuba, and Syria, you're not allowed to buy any land building within a 10-mile radius of what they consider critical infrastructure.
What if you're a U.S. permanent resident?
That's kind of like what's up in the air. I know that the Asian American Justice Alliance was suing him or
Yeah.
suing the state. They put out an appeal to it.
They say it unfairly discriminates against those groups of people.
$6 billion worth of real estate last year was purchased by Chinese nationals in the state of Florida. Now, there's also 25 other states that are looking into outlawing Chinese nationals from purchasing farmland in their states. This has got infrastructure, so that's including airports, military installations, telecom, water treatment, seaport, power plants, and refineries. So any major city basically has all of those in it. So this is going to change a lot of the real estate market in Florida. 24% of all the sales in Florida for home buyers is from foreign home buyers.
I imagine permanent residents would be still allowed to buy. Maybe if you're here on a work visa, you wouldn't be allowed to buy property in those places.
I know that if you're a real estate agent and you're selling property in Florida knowingly to one of these people, you can be fined and also serve jail time for it. They're taking it pretty seriously. I mean, you might have a buyer who's not is from one of these places, and you're a real estate agent. And they want to buy a $5 million property. You know that's going to be a hard thing to pass up on, because if you're getting 3% on $5 million, that's a big paycheck for people. We'll see how it turns out, but 24% of all the home buyers in Florida last year were foreign. It's a huge number. It's 1 out of 4 houses.
Wow. That's a
So
lot.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it will have an impact, but you've got to also remember that a lot of people from Europe buy houses in Florida. You know, it is the vacation destination for the world, pretty
Yeah.
much. So Germany buys a lot of houses in Southwest Florida. UK has a pretty heavy presence on the Gold Coast. Miami is obviously South America, is all over. The islands, people buy houses all over there. So it's only restricting from South America, Venezuela, and from the islands, you've only got Cuba. But it's interesting if you look at the governments behind these countries. There's one thing in common: they're all kind of ran by either communists or dictators.
In my understanding, I think probably it's going to apply to people who are here on visas or foreigners who just come to the US, buy a house and have it as a holiday home rather than permanent residents. Because in theory, a permanent resident has the same rights as a citizen. It's kind of unique in the US in that a permanent resident has many of the rights of a citizen. I'm a permanent resident and I have all the same rights as a citizen, except I can't vote. If it does apply to a permanent resident, that is a little discriminatory in my view, and I can see it being struck down if it applies to permanent residents as well. But obviously, I do support measures to fight aggression by China, because it is a big problem, especially China buying farmland near military bases and things like that. There's a lot of kind of shady stuff going on. So I kind of support it, but yeah, let's see what happens.